all I'm saying is at this point, there needs to be a Silver the Hedgehog game. I don't know what Sonic Team is doing. If you need a reference point to use, go look at the comics. Anyone read the Silver Universe comic? I love that comic. This is a perfect thing to use for this situation. And oh, snap, I'm doing a sports show. What's going on, everybody? AK here. The NFL season is back, which means NFL Mania is coming back to you better than ever. Now, we will be keeping some of the same things I was doing last season. You will get to see me do my reactions, because a lot of you guys love when I react to the games and give commentary to the games, and this is kind of my compromise for not being able to live stream, because a lot of you guys love it when I live stream. You guys keep telling me to do more live stream, but that's just a lot of live streaming to do, because I watch multiple games, and this is a 3.5 hour game, and to sit there for 3.5 hours and do nothing but commentate and do all this stuff, that's a lot of time. I do not have that much time to be able to do that. So this is my compromise to you guys, is just keeping the reactions. Plus, I love doing them because you get to see my live reaction to this. Well, it's not live. It's live when I'm doing it, but it's live, I edit it, and then I post it, and you guys know how it is. So you at least get to see the raw reaction of a fan just watching his team win or lose. You know how it is. But yeah, you'll still get to see that. For my Ravens fans, y'all know representing, I will still be doing Ravens content on this channel. You know, that's not really going to change. I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You know, any injuries or trade updates, anything related to the Ravens, I'm going to talk about it, especially with Lamar Jackson. With this upcoming season, we're going to be talking about him a lot, especially with his critics and everyone else. We will definitely be talking about Lamar Jackson a lot this season. You can bet that. But the new thing I'm adding is these type of videos. You'll be getting 2 of these videos each week. The first video will be a recap of all the previous Sunday games and Monday Night Football. That won't happen this week because we haven't started the season yet, so we haven't had Sunday games. Once we get through those games next week when this episode comes out, then we'll do the regularly scheduled program. But this is kind of like the first episode, so I'm just explaining everything to you. The other video is going to be a preview video in which I give all my predictions for the upcoming Sunday games and Monday Night Football as well. Now, Thursday Night Football is a different case. Thursday Night Football is something I'll do separately. I'll probably do it the day before the game or the day of the game. So it'll just be something small and quick prediction. You know how it is. If y'all know how I do my predictions and my recap videos, it's quick and it's like a 2-minute drill that just goes like this, where I just give you a quick statement about, quick statement to recap the game, or a quick statement to give my prediction of who I'm going to win. Who I believe is going to win. You know how I do it. It's the same old. So nothing's going to change about how I do my format. It's just, this is going to be a lot more concise. And this will also give me an opportunity to talk about any updates or news that I hear. So it's, it's kind of like a news channel type of format. So we'll see how this works. I hope you guys enjoy. This is the first episode, so let's get started. Alright, so since we don't have any games to recap because it is the first week as well as the first episode of this series, let's talk about the upcoming Thursday Night Football game. We got the Packers and we got the Bears. Now, this is a very crucial season for the Packers. It's kind of a make it or break it year for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers isn't getting any younger. He's been injured each of his last 3 seasons, and they've wasted his potential. This is going to be interesting to see what happens, because now Mike McCarthy's no longer there. He's been there for the entirety of Aaron Rodgers' career. We've seen how that offense has been just completely uncreative, just so bland and boring. And I say bland and boring in terms of play calling, not Aaron Rodgers' play, because a lot of that has Aaron Rodgers' print on it. We know he's creating stuff, but the play calling, my God, it's just basically, let's just let Aaron do what he wants. There has been no creative play calling in Green Bay in terms of the offense in a long time. So it's a make it or break it year. Matt LaFleur, he's now here. We have to see what's going to happen there. They did not show off their offense because Aaron Rodgers did not play in the preseason. So Thursday night's when we're going to get the first look at this new offense. We got to see if it's creative. We got to see how Aaron Rodgers is going to do with it. It's going to be interesting to see. But really, for this upcoming game, what I'm looking for is the Packers defense. For God's sakes, the Green Bay Packers defense has not been great since their Super Bowl run. Now, I might say 2011 when they went 15-1 and lost to the Giants, but I don't know. That they were kind of a middle of the road type of defense. They have not really been a great defense since the Super Bowl run, and that is terrible. You've had barring the New England Patriots, you've had the greatest quarterback play within the last several years, and you've wasted that potential. You've yet to make another Super Bowl. That's terrible. Think about that. In 20 years, The Packers have had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and they've combined for a total of 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl rings. That is a huge waste of talent. Good God. But a lot of that really has to do with this defense. And once again, that's a big problem. We're at this stage where Aaron Rodgers can win you games, but he can't carry this team to the playoffs every year. The way this guy can't stay healthy anymore and injuries are starting to pile up on his body, he cannot keep carrying the Green Bay Packers franchise anymore. It's time to step up and do something. So I need to see this defense show up this season. If they don't show up, if they're not consistent, and if they're not getting to the quarterback and putting pressure and covering their man, it's going to be a long season for the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how they're going to do it this season. I believe personally that it's going to come down between the Packers and the Bears for the NFC North. So one of those two is winning the division. I may lean towards the Bears at this point, but I have to see how this offense is going to go. So yeah, what I'm looking for in this game against the Bears, I want to see this defense get to Mitchell Trubisky. I want to see them bring pressure. I want to see their secondary perform better, because their secondary has actually been not really doing their job very well. I need to see this secondary step up to the plate and do what they need to do. If this defense can play anywhere near a top 10 level this season, I think the Packers got a chance to get back to the Super Bowl. And it'll be very interesting. As long as Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, they have a chance to get back to the Super Bowl. So, other than that, just want to get a quick look at this offense, want to see what they can do, and want to really see how this defense is going to play out for the Green Bay Packers. So it's going to be interesting. They got to win this first game because it is going to be tough. Now, the Chicago Bears are definitely an interesting team coming into this season. Last season, they found a way to win the division and make the playoffs, despite the fact that no one saw this coming. The Bears were really good last season, and they should have won that playoff game versus the Eagles. Sadly, a certain kicker couldn't make a kick, so they ended up getting eliminated at home. But they still got this ferocious defense this year. They added pieces to it, and they still got a pretty solid offense, I feel like this season for the Bears, it's going to come down to Mitchell Trubisky and how well he can develop. And before we even continue, I got to say this about Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. Last year he played pretty well. Bears fans, back me up on this. If you go look at the numbers, Mitchell Trubisky was actually pretty solid last year. Granted, he wasn't the main reason they were winning games. That has to do with their great defense, but he was still pretty solid. And I'll say this, in that playoff game versus the Eagles, when the Eagles got that touchdown 4th and goal in which Nick Foles passed that to Golden Tate and the score became 17-15, I thought the game was over. I did not think Trubisky could get them into field goal range, but he proved me wrong and got them to field goal range. And then Cody Parkey just couldn't make a kick. So I was shocked to see how well he was playing last season, even in the playoff game late in the game. But, people just disrespect Mitchell Trubisky, and I think that's a little unfair to him. He's coming into his 3rd season now, so just give the guy time. I think he was well last season, but whatever. Anyway, what we need to see from Mitchell Trubisky and his offense is just overall improvement, specifically with Trubisky. If he can take that next step in his development and have a Goff-like season, the way Jared Goff had that season last year, if Mitchell Trubisky can have a season related to that, the Bears are a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. They've got the defense to do that. If he can play the way Goff played last season, if he can take that next step in development, the Bears are definitely going to the NFC Championship, in my opinion. I'll put them over the Eagles. I will say the Bears will make the NFC Championship game if Trubisky is taking that next step to play as a top quarterback. Of course, I'm not saying he's going to be elite automatically, but if he's taking that next step in his development and you really see how well he's playing and this works with this defense, bruh, they've got the defense to do this. All Trubisky's got to do is take his game to the next level. We saw what he did with the bare minimum last season, and they were able to get into the playoffs. If he can develop even more as a passer, my goodness, bro, the Bears got something special here. And Mitchell Trubisky is not Jay Cutler. If you know me, I hate Jay Cutler. Mitchell Trubisky is nothing like him. He actually cares about football, and he tries. Jay, but yeah, if he can develop, and he's taking that next step, and we see him take that next step this season, no question, the Bears are going to win the division, and they're going to the NFC Championship game, in my opinion. So, what I need to see from Thursday night's game is Mitchell Trubisky taking that next step. That's what the Bears need him to do. I need to see him play well. I need to see him take this game over. If it's a close game, when it comes to close games with Aaron Rodgers, you can't leave any time on the clock. So I need to see them manage the clock, control time of possession, and I need to see Trubisky take over this game. If it comes down to him having to get them into field goal range, I need to see him do it. If it comes down to them needing to score a touchdown to win the game, I need to see him lead his team down the field. I want to see Trubisky take that next step this game. I want to see the improvements he's made, because if he's taking that next step, the Bears are winning their division and they're making it at least to the NFC Championship game, in which I believe they'll meet the Saints, but we're not talking about that. That's another question. But yeah, if we see that next level of development for Trubisky, no question. Because there's no concerns on defense. There's nothing you have to question on their defense. Their defense is set. It all comes down to Trubisky. And, well, a kicker, but we're not going to talk about that. That's a sore topic. I'm not getting on that topic with Bears fans. Yeah. But yeah, if Trubisky takes that next step, I believe they can do it. For me, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. You know, Aaron Rodgers may not be good enough to carry his team into the postseason, at least at this point, because I don't believe he can stay healthy. But Aaron Rodgers can certainly win you a game. If you're down by 3 or 4 points, Aaron Rodgers can get you a touchdown. As long as there's time on the clock, you can't leave number 12 open. The number 12 in Green Bay, not in Foxborough. We're not talking about him. But yeah, I feel like this game is going to be a close game. It's going to be a game not similar to the game last year in terms of how it occurred, but more of like the score being similar, in which I believe the Bears will probably be up by 3 or 4 points, and Rodgers is going to lead them down the field and score a game-winning touchdown like he usually does. I believe that's what's going to happen. Now, again, like I said, I want to see Trubisky take that next step, so I hope he proves me wrong and just balls out. But it's going to come down for Green Bay. We know it's going to come down to that defense versus the Bears offense. Those are the two things of concern we have to see from each side, and the winner of that battle is probably going to win the game. So if this defense can manage to hold off Trubisky, I think they're going to win it, which I believe the Green Bay Packers defense probably won't be able to do, but I still believe Aaron Rodgers is good enough to get you the win. So yeah, I got the Green Bay Packers winning in Chicago over the Bears, and they'll start their season 1-0 while the Bears will be 0-1. And don't worry, Bears fans, hopefully I'm wrong, but like, even if that does happen, you should still be fine. Anyway, I'm going to cut this episode right here. This went on longer than I thought. It's the first episode, and it's just not even the format it'll be. I think a lot of the other episodes are going to be a lot shorter, but because I just talking about one game, I went on too long. So, hope you guys enjoy. This is the first episode of NFL Mania. Tried to do my best with it. Probably I'm going to do better. It's going to get better as the season rolls around, because I'm going to be more concise with how I do my things and not be talking and rambling like I am right now. So, thanks for watching. Make sure to stay toasty, and I'm out.